4 years ago, I walked away from my six-figure career as a doctor, a decision that terrified me and liberated me all at once. I didn't know what life would look like on the other side, but I knew I couldn't stay stuck in a life that didn't feel like mine anymore. Now, 4 years later, I've learned lessons that completely transformed how I see success and happiness and fulfillment. And these lessons might just change how you approach your life too. Let me share the 5 most powerful things that I have discovered since stepping away from what many thought was the ultimate career. Let me start with this. For years, my identity was completely tied to my job title. I was a doctor and everything else came second. When I stopped practicing, I felt like I was losing a big piece of myself. I worried that without that identity, I wouldn't know who I was anymore. But here's what I learned. Success isn't about the title or the salary. It's about alignment. This is the first lesson that I want to share with you. When your work aligns with who you are and what you value, that's when you truly succeed. There's a great quote by Maya Angelou about this. Success is liking yourself, liking what you do, and liking how you do it. It's not about external validation, it's about internal alignment. A recent study from the University of Southern California found that people who perceived their work as meaningful report significantly higher levels of life satisfaction, regardless of income or status. That was my experience too. I realized that I had been chasing a version of success that looked good on the outside but felt empty on the inside. Real success, I have come to learn, is about doing work that feels meaningful to you. So how can this apply to you? Take a moment to ask yourself, is my current path aligned with the kind of life that I want to live? Or am I chasing somebody else's idea of success? The answer is no. It might be time to reevaluate. Okay, let's move on to lesson number 2, which has to do with uncertainty. When I left my career, I went from having every step of my life completely mapped out to staring at a blank page. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it, it was terrifying. For years, I had relied on structure and certainty to feel secure. Suddenly, I didn't have a plan, and the unknown felt like a black hole. But what I learned, and this is lesson number 2, is that uncertainty isn't something to fear. It's where possibility lives. When the page is blank, you can finally write your own story. There's an old proverb that says, "The wise man doesn't wait for the perfect wind to set sail. He adjusts his sails to whatever wind comes." That's what uncertainty felt like, learning to adjust rather than waiting for perfect clarity. At first, the lack of structure felt like free falling. But over time, I realized that the freedom to create my own path was worth every uncomfortable moment. I started to see uncertainty as an open door rather than a closed one. So how can this apply to you? Well, if you're facing uncertainty, try reframing it. Instead of asking, what if it goes wrong? Ask, what if it goes right? That small mindset shift can open up possibilities that you never imagined. All right, moving on to lesson number 3, which is about time. In my old career, I was earning a great salary, but I was trading something far more valuable: my time. My days were filled with long hours, constant stress, and time away from the people and activities that I loved. I used to think that making a good income meant that I was doing well, but the truth is, I was bankrupt in the one thing that mattered the most. Research from Harvard Business School highlights that people who prioritize time over money report higher levels of happiness. It's not just about work-life balance, it's about how much control you have over your time. So what I have learned, and this is lesson number 3, is that time is the ultimate currency. You can always make more money, but you can't make more time. Now I have the freedom to spend my time in ways that feel meaningful, whether it's being present with my family or pursuing creative projects or simply having the space to breathe. So how can this apply to you? Well, I want you to think about where your time is going. Are you spending it on what truly matters to you, or are you trading it away for something that doesn't align with your values? Remember, your time is the most precious thing you own. Also, if you want more help with this, if time is something that you feel like you just never have enough of, then I would love for you to download the free guide that I put together with my top time saving hacks. It gives you specific, easy actions to take that will help you to create more time in your day. And you can download it for free. Just go ahead and follow the link in the description below. Okay, next up, we're going to talk about reinvention. medicine. For a long time, I believed that I had to stay in my lane. Society tells us that we're supposed to pick a path and stick to it and never look back. For me, that path was medicine. I had worked so hard to get there that stepping away felt like I was breaking an unspoken rule. But here's the truth. You are allowed to redefine yourself as many times as it takes to find fulfillment. And this is lesson number 4. Alan Watts said, "You are under no obligation to be the same person that you were 5 minutes ago." And I love that. It beautifully captures the idea that growth and reinvention are natural and that it's okay to change your mind, your direction, or your identity as you evolve. Letting go of my old identity was pretty scary, but it also set me free. I realized that I don't have to be defined by what I have done in the past. I can be whoever I choose to be today. So how can this apply to you? Well, if you feel trapped by your current role, remember this. You have permission to start over. Reinvention isn't failure, it's growth. Every step that you have taken so far has prepared you for what's next. The final lesson that I want to share might be the most important of all. When I decided to leave my career, I was paralyzed by fear. What if I failed? What if people judged me? What if I ended up regretting it? What I didn't realize at the time, and this is lesson number 5, is that fulfillment comes from making courageous choices. I love this quote from Brené Brown. You can choose courage or you can choose comfort, but you cannot have both. Every bold move that I have made since leaving medicine, whether it was starting my new business, creating content for YouTube, or taking risks that I never thought that I would take, has brought me closer to a life that feels truly mine. Was it scary? Absolutely. But staying safe often means staying stuck. So how can this apply to you? Well, think about one courageous step that you can take today. It does not have to be huge. Sometimes the smallest steps, like saying no to something that doesn't serve you, can have the biggest impact. So there you have it. If you are standing at the edge of a big decision, I hope that these lessons give you the clarity and the courage that you need to take that leap. Let me know in the comments below which lesson stood out to you the most, or share your own experience with making a big life change. And if this resonated with you, I would love for you to share this video with someone who might need to watch it. And don't forget to download my free guide to creating more time in your day and freeing yourself from the constant feeling of time poverty. Just go ahead and follow the link in the description below. Also, if you like this video, I think that you are going to love the one that I am going to share right above my head here. I think it's here, it might be here, I'm not sure. Anyway, it's the one where I talk about the exact sequence of events that caused me to walk away from my career in medicine and how I overcame the various challenges that might have stopped me from making that transition. I will see you there. Moving on to lesson number 3, which is about time. Did I swallow that? Did I say that clearly enough? Let's do that again. Icky. Also, if you like this video, I think that you are going to love the one that I am going to share. Let's just do that again. And I think it's this side. I hope it's the left. Anyway, whatever.